Hey, it's me, Craig again. The mysterious man who usually does this. I think I caught his name. Anyway, he's still, slowly dying, I guess, from all the lasers that Trisha shot into him a while back. But, I'm here, to tell you that the following podcast is not real. But it is really sponsored by Basecamp. When you use Basecamp to run projects, people know what to do, people know where things are, and you stay on top of everything all the time. Oh, and it's also sponsored by the game Utter Nonsense. Ever wonder what it's like to see your friends orgasm or take a poop? Reveal these mysteries and more with the Chicago-born party game Utter Nonsense. Currently available at Target stores nationwide.
Guys, do the thing where we talk over the music.
I had sex with a spider.
We must defeat the Dark Lord.
I love to dance.
Hello from the Magic Tavern.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tannakin.
Bye-bye.
A weekly podcast from the magical land of Foon. I'm your host, Arnie Niekamp. If you haven't listened to the podcast before, this is what's going on. A little over half a year ago, I fell through...
At this point, has anybody not listened to the podcast who's listening to this episode?
Well, we would hope that this could be a jumping-on episode, like an episode where people who hadn't listened before start listening. So I want to explain the premise of the podcast every time. I know it's probably annoying to you guys who've heard it, week after week after week.
Why are you staring at Usidore while you say that?
Well, I don't know. Usidore is easily annoyed. Although I should be staring at you, Chunt, because you're the most easily annoyed.
Huh?
I love you. I love you. Choo-choo.
I love you.
All right.
I'm okay saying that.
All right. I love you too.
Great.
Fantastic.
Go ahead. I'm sorry I interrupted.
So anyway, a while back, I fell through a dimensional portal.
How long ago? Was it like
a little over half a year ago?
Yeah.
I fell through a dimensional portal behind a Burger King.
Sometimes you say rift. What's the difference between a portal and a rift?
I don't know. I don't really know. I think I just like to mix it up, but I don't really know.
Okay. Love you.
I love you.
Love you
too. Love you. Choo choo. I fell blah 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 blah, and now I can upload a podcast every week from my computer from this tavern, the Vermilion Minotaur, in the town of Hogsface in the land of Foon, and I'm joined every week by my co-hosts.
I think you should take longer to introduce yourself on the show.
It's not my fault.
Should you?
No, I am absolutely serious when I say that, because I think you should embellish it. Stretch it out.
All right.
Do everything you want to say so that people, when they hear you, know that you are Usidore, Wizard of the 12th Realm of Ephesius, Master of Light and Shadow, Manipulator of Magical Delights, Devourer of Chaos, Champion of the Great Halls of Tarakas, the Elves know he is Fiang Yalk. I'm not going to do this if he's not here. What do you want to talk about, Chunt?
I feel like I'm gonna forego introducing myself.
Yeah.
And I feel weird because Arnie never does this, and I feel like every week I'm like, why doesn't Arnie do this? So I guess I'm gonna use my introduction. I'm gonna use this time to say, Sarah, if you can hear this, come try and get Arnie. Please. I feel like he never talks about it.
Please,
he never tries to get his family.
It's very
Isn't that
strange,
weird?
isn't it? You'd think he'd be trying harder to get
You
home.
think he'd start every episode with, oh my God, please, Sarah, if you can hear this, go to the portal, try and get through, or whatever that is. Like if he says this is big news, if this is big news, everyone's heard of this.
And if he's comfortable here, why doesn't he get a job?
Yeah, exactly.
Aren't you worried about it? I'm a little worried about him. And there may be other secret names you do not know yet.
Hey.
Hey
love
guys.
You.
Hey, love you too. All right. Anyway, so you know what? We don't have a guest this week, but I'm excited. I think this is a good time.
Boys' night.
Look, I'm trying to slow down my drinking a little bit, as as you've mentioned numerous times. I've put on some weight, so I'm trying to slow that down a little bit. But I thought we would go through some of the copious emails and letters that we get, let's have a letters party.
I learned a spell that turns my saliva into alcohol.
Letters night.
Letters night.
Letters night.
All right. So why don't I go ahead and start? Let's just jump into some of these letters, huh? As always, you can send emails to us at magictavern@puppies.supplies. It's the only email address that I could somehow get because of the firewall of the Burger King. Let's see. Here's one from Heather. It says, "Hey, Arnie, you mentioned in the latest episode that you sometimes get letters from people who are romantically or physically interested in Chunt or Usidore. It's true. We get a lot of letters along those lines. I actually have a bad habit of tweeting at Chunt too much, and one of my friends asked me if I was in love with him. If I was honest, I couldn't say no. Would you be...
Oh, yeah, baby.
Would you be willing to talk to him for me? I know he was seeing a cockroach a while back, and I am not one to intrude on other people's relationships, but I feel I might kick myself if I don't at least put this out there. I also think that most people would say I am more attractive than a cockroach, but it's not a question I have put to too many people. Anyway, thanks, and if you ask me, I miss when you used to say Hoobastank during Usidore's introductions. Heather.
I am still dating a cockroach, so at this point in time...
How's it going?
It's going good. We're taking it slow, obviously. So, yeah, I am in a happy relationship right now. So, thank you, and maybe at some point if I ever happen to slip into Earth and I'm not seeing anyone, that maybe we could,
see where it goes.
See where it goes.
Did the letter mention whether the writer was a human or an elf or dwarf or...
I mean, I assume it's a
bear
human.
or a raccoon?
Oh, she's a human?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a human. Yes.
Not into humans so much?
We could just be friends.
Okay, fair enough. All right, why don't I read one more email here? Arnie, Chunt keeps begging to borrow your phone, so I imagine that you have a device with which to take some pictures of the Vermilion Minotaur. Can you let us in on your surroundings? Otherwise, as an OU alum and Athens native, I'm going to be forced to imagine this shithole every time I listen to the podcast. Oh, and he's attached a picture of the Smiling Skull Saloon in Athens,
Smiling Skull.
Ohio. Where
Is that
I
in
went
front
to
of Pizza
school.
Skull?
We talked about, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just a bar that I went to when I was in college in Athens, Ohio, at Ohio University.
Yeah, we talked about that before, I think.
Yeah, it's a little bit. Some people think it's intimidating. I guess it has a little bit of a biker bar vibe, but it's just like a cool. It's the kind of place where when you're in college, you're like, oh no, it's scary, and then you get older and you're like, this is just a bar. This is just not a college bar. That's the only.
A biker bar.
A biker. Oh boy. Yeah. Okay. I don't want to.
No, I know what a biker is.
What is a biker?
It's one of those two-headed dogs.
Oh, a biker.
Yeah. A biker.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah. As for pictures, it takes a really long time to upload pictures on my computer, and also my camera on my phone isn't very good. So, but I'll try. I'll try to get some pictures to people. Chunt, did you have any emails lately?
I do. You caught me off guard here.
Chunt, may I ask you a question while you're looking up
sure.
an email? Have you ever been a human? Have you ever slept with a human?
No, I have not. I have not been a human before.
Are you interested in humans, or do you find them attractive at all?
I mean, the sort of humans I've met, they're fine. I just, for some reason, I tend to like the exotic. I tend to like,
Like Arnold here?
No, not like Arnold at all. Let's get to some Chunt emails here. You can email me, of course, at chunt@gmail.com. That's Chunt with 6 T's. This is from Connor. Connor writes, haha, remember when Arnold fucked a memory goblin? Connor from Liverpool, England. So that's just a quick, I do remember. Thank you.
Yes, I remember also.
This email here is from Anna. Anna Sessler. Anna writes, Arnie, Chunt, and Usidore, my human companion and I love your podcast, and we have begun researching how we may take a vacation to Foon.
Oh, wow.
We don't often eat at Burger King, but we have been trying to find similar portals at Soup Box and Kuma's. It would mean so much to me if you could wish my boyfriend Zach a happy birthday on the show this week. His birthday is October 29th.
We missed that one.
Also, even though Arnie threw Flower off a cliff when she was on the show, do you think let's see here. Do you think there's any chance she survived the fall, and would she consider coming back as a guest? She did, and she has.
Time to catch up on the podcast.
She's our favorite besides Chunt, of course. Thanks, guys. You guys are great. Rainbow bowls for everyone. Anna. P.S. If you decide to read this on the show, it's pronounced Anna and not Anna. Okay. I don't understand what she's trying to say.
She mentioned her human companion, so what is she?
She doesn't say?
She's probably human. I'm going to have to say that you should just assume that the vast majority of these messages are sent from humans.
I refuse.
What else we got here? This is an email. It says, hello from Bainbridge Island. This person emailed Chunt, but the start of the email says, hey, Arnold, which
It's Arnie. Most of the emails sent to me start with, hi, Usidore, hi, Chunt.
Huh. Well, this one starts with, hey,
Are
Arnold.
we not clear enough about what email goes to what people?
Perhaps people need to know how to contact me again. Take your greatest leather chair. Set it in front of a large window where you can see the sun rise and the sun set. Watch from dawn until dusk. Breathe only one large breath in and one large breath out. After you pass out, after watching the sun go down, dream a dream of Usidore, and you shall speak to me.
Usidore, I gotta say, I know I give you a lot of shit, but the ways of contacting you is my favorite thing about you.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
My least favorite thing about you is your cooking voice. But anyway.
But this is from Lake Star, and Lake Star says, "Hey, Arnold, just wanted to say I've always enjoyed your podcast from episode 1.
It's Arnie.
And I had a question for the wizard. So it's an email to Chunt that
Which one?
that starts with, Hey, Arnold, that is a question for Usidore. A question for the wizard whose name I won't say because it takes too long. Here it is.
You see me in Usidore, wizard of the 12th realm of Ephesius.
She says, what is the most...
light and shadow, manipulator of magical delights, devourer of chaos, champion of the great halls of Tarakas. The elves know me as Fineout. The dwarves know me as Zonin and Hookstangis, and I am known in the northeast as Gaswanius Maystar. And there may be... While Arnold's away,
Yeah.
I think we should find him a job.
I don't think he'll work. Now that his whole energy was wasted on drinking, and now he's not even drinking. I don't know what he does all day.
I don't know either. And there may be other secret names you do not know yet.
So for the wizard, what is the most dangerous thing that Arnold has ever done? I'm asking you because I don't trust Arnold to say a truthful answer. Thanks again, love your podcast. Always makes me feel better after I listen to it. Sincerely, Lake Star. And then she says, that's my real name.
Ooh, Lake Star.
What's the most dangerous thing I've ever done?
That Arnold has ever done.
Oh, that Arnold has ever
Arnie.
done. Let's see. What's the most dangerous thing Arnold's ever done? We were just sort of talking about this. Yes, I know. One time, he went into the back room of the Vermilion Minotaur because his lamb shank was undercooked.
Fair enough. Letters night.
Letters night.
Letters night!
I have an email here. It says, "Hey, Arnie, Chunt, and Usidore."
Read
It's
it
to
like
everybody.
you're reading a ghost story. Oh, never mind.
Chunt's up. Spants has never sung my favorite verse of Seven Dragons and a Baby on your podcast. Could you ask her to include this verse the next time she plays the Vermilion Minotaur? And there's another verse here that I actually haven't
You
heard
watch your
before.
mouth if you talk about Spants.
Ooh,
I'll kill
still
you.
interested.
Oh, yeah, that's,
Now, you weren't
too.
interested in humans, but you were interested in Spence.
I do like Spants.
Interesting. What happened? Why didn't that, for a while,
I don't know.
you guys were circling each other, and then she just lost interest.
I don't know. I always keep my heart open.
She's around, I think.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Okay, anyway, this is a verse of the song that I've never heard before. I'll try my best to sing it, as written by Hank in this email. 7 dragons and a baby going out to dine. 6 dragons ordered rainbow bowls, the others ordered wine. The baby ordered mother's milk and then demanded waffles. The baby said, we're tired of those tonight, let's get falafel. Thanks, Hank. That's the verse. Have you guys ever heard that verse?
That must be a regional verse. I'm not familiar with
Yeah,
it.
there's a lot of different versions of the
There
song.
are many
I
different
imagine.
versions of the song.
Interesting. Hank. Also the name Hank. Always the first name.
guess.
Yeah. Here, let's see. Another.
You should have asked us to guess the name.
Okay. What do you think the name was?
Hank.
Yes, exactly. Here's another one. Hi, Arnie. Longtime fan of the show. First-time emailer. I can't believe I got through. I'll cut right to the chase.
Letters night.
Letters night.
Letters night.
To put it bluntly, I am concerned that you might be dead. Jesus Christ. With all these strange
Might as well
creatures
be.
and this No, thanks, John. With all these
Love you.
Love you. With all these strange creatures and this fantastical world, why do you immediately assume that Foon is another dimension rather than the afterlife? Maybe you died in that Burger King parking lot and Foon is heaven. And if you are dead, what does that mean about this email? Are you really still communicating with Earth even though you are dead, like a ghost? Or am I, and everything you think you know now, a figment of your dead imagination? It's tough to know what's real, right? The other thing I think we both know for certain, if this theory is true, Don is probably God. Chew on that, Brian.
Wow. That was a really
Really brought down the room.
really deep email. I just want to go home and think.
Yeah. I think I'm alive, right?
Here, there's one way to know for certain.
Smack him?
Ow, God.
Oh, you pinched him. Let me smack him.
No.
Love you.
Love you.
Did you
too.
feel that?
I did.
You're
I think-
alive.
all right, let's just move on. Here's one. No, this is about Usidore. Last night, oh boy, this is spicy. Last night during sex with my girlfriend,
What?
My girlfriend screamed out Usidore's name in its entirety. At first, I was furious, but then decided to just make the best of it. My latex bondage wizard outfit has been ordered. That seems to strain credulity a little bit. Usidore, I greatly look forward to the day that Foon gets a new blue wizard. Fuck you and long live Dave Smith. Matt Deterior.
Wow.
What?
Cut to the bone.
What is latex?
Oh boy. I think he's joking about it, but
I know what bondage is.
here's the thing. I really, truly do hope, any listeners out there, please, at some point when you're having sex, really, people, someone start yelling out Usidore's name.
The full name or just Usidore?
The full name, if you can.
Or maybe start it, and by the time you get to the last part, you'll be ready to go.
See how much of it you can get through.
If we're including me and the listeners, it's already happened.
Oh, no. Wait, you yell out your own name during sex?
Yes. That way the person knows who I am.
Okay.
Can we also urge people when they're about to climax during sex to just say, "Oh yeah, baby"?
Yes. Let's do both. And then here's the thing. If you listeners know anything, this podcast is about honesty. It's about truth. So please do not lie about this. If there's ever anything that you're ever honest about, for the love of God, make it this. Only send us an email if you've really done one of these things. I'm getting way too serious.
You're so serious. I've never seen you so serious. Can I go into another email here?
Yeah.
But I have a caveat. I'd like to...
Is this one from Billy Yum Yum 2x2?
I wish. This is a legal email, and I would prefer Usidore to read it since Usidore doesn't have an email address. So would you mind reading this?
Certainly.
And when you get to entailment, there's a second. But it's just, it seems like it's very important, so I wanted to hear it from Usidore's voice.
Legal advice concerning buttholes. Good day, Mr. Chunt. I am a litigator with Wishermen and Imps Goldstein Law Offices here in Foon, where we specialize in divine covenants, contracts, prayers, and verbal wish structures and semantics. I have to say that you have a pretty solid case to get out of your wishes legalities, since you did not say, "I wish to forever have 2 buttholes, no more, no less." The argument should always be made that if you had 3 or more buttholes, this means you must also have 2. A simple case of semantic entitlement. So if I were you, I would keep trying to find a creature with 3 buttholes and give them a few love shoves. If all else fails, you could piss off a flower, and she would tear you a new one. Not as fun, but similarly effective. As for your roach friend, you should leave her. Roaches are not good people.
Oh.
Roaches aren't people at all.
Yeah, that's true. They're not good people. They're great roaches.
Yeah, legalese. He should already know that. I went to see a cheap imitation theater group, the Cockroach Ticklers, at the Iofoon Theater in this town of Shi-upon-Kago, and I was thoroughly disappointed. All the best, Taryn Rankamp. P.S. We have a few wishing stars submitted as court evidence in past trials here in storage. These could be useful to Usidore on his quest, so let him know. I must have these wishing stars.
Wow.
I can't stress enough that was a real email, not anything
That's true. It's very long.
Yes.
That's how you know it's real.
Yeah.
Here, I have another question here. Another email. Hi, Arnie. So I am highly doubting that this will end up working out, but I had a funny idea for an episode. Huh. I thought it would be hilarious if you guys had a dinosaur on the podcast and interviewed him. The possible backstory for why there are dinosaurs in Foon could be that they all went through the Burger King portal or similar portals around the world way back around the time of extinction. Also a fun name for the dinosaur. That you could interview would be Tyrannosaurus Rob. I am sure you guys get tons of emails like this, but I figured I would try. Thanks, John Walker Davis. I do get tons of emails asking if we could do a dinosaur character named Tyrannosaurus Rob. Are you sure there isn't anyone in Foon called Tyrannosaurus Rob?
Not that I'm aware of.
We would know about what a dinosaur is.
Dinosaur is sort of like a dragon, but less interesting.
Less interesting.
Like it doesn't breathe
snake?
fire. I guess like a snake. Look, you know what? Let's take a quick break, and I'll explain to you guys what dinosaur.
Oh, Grumthor. He's the most boring dragon I know.
Sing us a song.
7 dragons and a baby going out to dine. 6 dragons ordered rainbow balls, the other ordered wine. The baby ordered mother's milk and then demanded waffles. The dragon said, we're tired of those tonight, let's get falafel.
'Tis I, Usidore, and I command thee. Go to patreon.com/Magic Tavern right now and become a member and get all of our wonderful bonus content.
And that's what a dinosaur is.
Oh, so it's like a boring dragon.
It's like a boring dragon, exactly. Great. Oh, and I keep forgetting that Tannakin, the pinglet, is still sort of flying around. I think she might be drunk.
I love the sound she makes when she flies.
Adorable.
All right, let's see. Let me jump into a couple more emails here. This one is from Facebook, actually. You know, you can follow us on Facebook and send us messages there. Jack Tanner III says, I love you guys. Huge fan. I was wondering if y'all have some other podcasts I could listen to. I'm caught up on the Magic Tavern. Thanks, guys. Keep up the amazing work. No, you guys wanted to do an Offices and Bosses podcast.
Oh, we've been playing that without you.
Oh, you've been playing the game without me?
Yeah, Dan Smith is now a level 10 temp.
John Bastion just got a stapler.
So things are going well. But yeah, we haven't been recording it because you won't let us use your equipment.
Well, I don't want to, last week the battery ran out and it took us a long time to fix it. Like, I just want to conserve our resources for this podcast.
No, I totally get it. If you want to hear an Offices and Bosses podcast, email Arnie at puppies.supplies.net and tell him... give us a fucking Offices and Bosses podcast.
Fair.
If we get 200 people to send him an email, we'll do it.
Yes, if you can send an email to Arnie at puppies.supplies.net.
Never mind.
Sure. I will say, though, the reason I had all this podcasting equipment with me in the car is that, I used to have podcasts on Earth. They never really took off particularly, but I guess you could go back and listen to old Stupid Nerd podcasts, which I assume are still on the internet.
What is that?
It's a podcast where I interviewed nerds about nerdy things.
So this isn't the first time you've done a podcast?
This is not the first time I did a podcast. That's why I'm so good at it. That's why.
Oh, that's not the reading I was getting.
I have an email here. This is from Mike Lieber. Says, hey, Arnie and Chunt, I listened to a few podcasts, and after listening to you guys, I switched over to Game Informer podcast. The interview that was on the podcast was with Arnie. I was a bit surprised when I heard Arnie was a writer and director for Jackbox Party Pack 2, which is a video game here on Earth. I guess this is what he does with the rest of his week in Foon. Chunt's up with that. P.S. Usidore's the fucking man.
Yes, I am.
That's weird. I mean, I did, when I was on Earth, I worked at a video game company, and we were working on a Jackbox Party Pack. I've been gone for a long time. I guess probably, maybe you're thinking of my coworker Allard. That's a very similar name, so... I'm glad to hear that it sounds like the game has come out, so hopefully it's doing well.
Perhaps someone is posing as you back on Earth.
Wouldn't be surprising.
I mean, if someone was posing as me on Earth, that would explain why I haven't heard from my wife, Sarah.
Yeah, because she's sleeping with that person. No. So here we have an email from Aaron Smith.
So confused that her husband is now attentive and useful.
Oh, come on.
And he's probably screaming Usidore when he...
Seriously, though, if you do yell any part, as much of Usidore's name as you can, please. I'm not joking.
But we can't stress enough, do not yell Feline Zelig or Hoobastank. That will disrupt the mood. That will kill the moment.
Unless the other person does.
As it always does.
So we're very interested in her learning about that.
Here's an email from Aaron Smith. Says, on Earth we have booster seats. They are put on top of chairs so children can sit at a table comfortably. How does the Vermilion Minotaur accommodate such a wide spectrum of patrons from ogres to imps? You seem like the one to ask.
I don't understand why you'd allow a child at a table. They are not a full-grown adult. They have not earned that privilege yet. They should sit on the bench with the other children. Now, imps and elves and dwarves, there are all manner of sizes and stools and chairs here in the Vermilion Minotaur to accommodate all of our wonderful guests. And many sizes of tables, too.
Yeah. And I mean, sometimes, like I have Gorgeous here. Let me take Gorgeous out.
Oh, no. The sentient.
My Sophies. my softly screaming potato.
What an idiot.
And I just put her on the table. I don't.
Yes, sometimes creatures do sit on the table.
Yeah.
Pimbly Nimblebottom.
Yeah. So it's. I mean, we can accommodate whatever.
Yeah, people get by.
Yeah. What really kills me is it's got one little tooth. It's just screaming. You just see it's one little tooth.
Let me put Gorgeous away.
Bye, Gorgeous.
Here's another email. Hello, Arnie. You have had some cool lady guests, but every single episode of your podcast has completely failed the Bechdel test. I don't know who to ask if I'm pronouncing that right. I am familiar.
You failed the pronunciation test just now.
I actually am familiar with what the Bechdel test is. Chunt's up with that. You have all those unwed mothers hanging out in the Vermilion Minotaur. Could you invite them on the show to talk about women's issues in Foon? That is a very fair complaint. We've had women on. The Bechdel test is that women have to have a conversation with each other, not about a man. And we have failed that. We need to get more women on the podcast to talk to each other about. We don't really know enough about women's issues in Foon. Period.
Mm-hmm.
I take full responsibility for that. I'll work harder to fix that.
Would it help if I shapeshifted into a woman?
That would be great.
Would it help if I transformed into a woman?
I would love to do an episode where you're both women.
Would it help if he turned you into a woman?
I mean, I'm a little bit curious about that, but I'm happy being. I am who I am.
Okay.
So, all right.
You're happy about that.
I am.
We thought you wanted an escape.
No. This email continues. Finally, a friend of mine is a public librarian in Chicago, and she says to tell you they want their copy of How to Blamelessly Abandon Your Wife and Newborn Child for Dummies back. It's really overdue, and there's a long wait list.
That's a real book?
No, they think they're just trying to stick it to me. Best, Megan the librarian. P.S. Really enjoy the podcast. Thanks for your time and talent. Thank you, Megan. You really, I felt you grilled me a little bit, probably deservedly so, but I'm glad you enjoy the podcast. Letters night.
Letters night.
Letters night.
Here's a letter from John Walker Davis. John writes, Hi, Chunt. I'm a big fan of y'all's podcast. My coworker Patrick has infected our whole office with the word of Foon. Oh, boy. We all love listening to you guys, and some of us are starting to collect your shirts. So if you could give us a shout-out to Patrick Hannon, that would be awesome and blow his mind, probably. Chunt, please.
Patrick Hannon!
Patrick Hannon!
Patrick Hannon!
I am going to retire to the bar for a moment. Do you need anything to drink?
I'll just have a water.
Can I have a mead with a little bit of Patrick Hannon in
it? Patrick Hannon!
I know what that means.
Here's another one real quick while he's gone. I was laid up for a bit after some surgery a couple weeks ago, and I listened to you guys nonstop throughout that week. Laughter really is the best medicine, and you all provided it. I love the show. Keep up the good work. And Chunt, hug Arnie. Dave Gardner, Spokane, Washington.
Oh,
that's really nice. I'm glad that we could make that painful time better for you, Dave Gardner.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna.
Chunt, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Please hug me. For
okay.
real.
Yeah.
Like, I know that people are only listening to this, so you think you can get away with just pantomiming hugging me.
No, here we go.
No, come on.
All right.
I know.
Bear with me 1 second.
Get over here. Okay. This is really happening. This is just like an email about
microphones.
All right. It's a one-armed hug.
What are you doing?
Yeah, you bet your ass it was a one-armed hug. That was nice. That was nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dave Gardner, for bringing us
together.
Dave.
There's some water.
Oh, thank you.
Mead with raspberry here.
I have an email here from Keith Higby. Chunt, I love you with all my heart. I'm just curious if he had a threesome with 2 different animals, what would happen? Well, I suppose I would turn into some combination of what animals they were.
Oh, really?
Oh, wonderful.
So it's not like the last one that you have sexual contact with. So it would be this amalgam of everyone that you had some kind of...
Yeah, I mean, my cousin Stomopoulos, do you guys, I remember talking
about... I remember
Stomopoulos, yes. But my cousin Stomopoulos had a threesome, and at some point, yeah, he was, he turned into, he had bird wings, a bird head, and then a raccoon's body.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, what sort of creature was Mr. Higby? Was he a bee? Is a Higby a thing?
He didn't say what he was here.
He's probably an insect.
Here we have, this is from Luke Abramson. The title is My Sweet Chunt. Hey, Chunt, people on Earth are starting to wonder if you've lost your touch. Can you not get laid, or are you just sleeping around with a bunch of different badgers? I bet Arnie isn't a good enough friend to notice the slight change in your badger appearance. P.S. Ask Usidore if he can quickly curse my friend Kemble Birdbelly on the next recording. Maybe just to make every fart he does a little bit wet. Usidore knows the spell, doesn't he? Spintax does. That got really...
I'm going to be 100% honest. I wasn't even paying attention to that.
I wish I wasn't paying attention to that.
What was his friend's name?
Kemble Birdbelly?
Kemble Birdbelly. Mm-hmm. That's not one of the Earth names that was on that list.
Yeah, so this is obviously fake.
But I'll curse him anyway. Kemble Birdbelly.
All right, here's one. Hey, Arnie. Love the show. You guys are great. I have so many questions, but mostly, Arnie, I have news for you. I'm a utility worker on a contract in Chicago, and fun fact, guess who was working near the Burger King the day you disappeared? That's right, this guy. I assume he's referring to himself. Remember the truck with a flashing light? Totally me. I'm Steve. I just happened to catch your podcast, and I wanted to help you out, and maybe you can help me. Instead of being a podcast at the mercy of a weak Wi-Fi signal of a Burger King, how would you like to have a podcast supported by an amalgamation of cords and wires stuffed through an interdimensional rift, courtesy of some guy named Steve, because I could totally hook that up. Oh, that would be helpful. I've been playing with the rift. It's got a little give to it. Obviously, child fat works the best, but a little Crisco or water-based lubricant can wedge it open just enough for a power strip and an Ethernet cord to fit through. I love this show, and I'm more than happy to aid your quest. As a favor to me, well, and there are a lot of L's in this, I work long hours and have weird hobbies, so I don't meet a lot of women. I'm a bit embarrassed asking this, and I'm a huge fan of the writer Tolkien. Let's just say, does Elvish Maiden Glory Hole mean anything? This goes on for a while.
These emails are getting...
This goes on for a while.
Really sad towards you.
Stay away from the dimensional portal for a while. If anything comes through, let's not.
Let me see that.
Oh, boy.
Here's another one. Hi, Arnold. It's Arnie. On a recent trip to the U.S., I'm from London. I happened to briefly fall through that portal you're always banging on about. At the time, I assumed Burger King had undergone some strange renovation and didn't realize what had happened until after I left the portal, Googled spiced potatoes and found your podcast. I was so taken by my experience, I wrote a Yelp review for the Vermilion Minotaur. Oh, wow. And here's the Yelp review. It's the Burger King that the dimensional portal was behind it's in Chicago at the intersection of Irving Park and Clark. And the Yelp review says, what an interesting experience. From the outside, it appears much like any other reliable Burger King. But after going through the drive-thru, there's a flash, and the interior takes on a strange old pub design. Think wooden panels, tables, and pint glasses. Very cool. One thing that confused me about the signs all read Vermilion Minotaur. I have to say I was somewhat disappointed by the fact that the menu seemed to be severely limited, with an unnerving staff member, strangely named Blemish, only offering spiced potatoes.
The boy.
Yeah, it's Blemish. Yeah. Anyway, and it goes on from there, and that's awesome. Any way that people can get word out about the podcast and the fact that there are multiple dimensions, even if it's on that Yelp page, is great. Letters night.
Letters night.
Letters night.
How are you doing, Usidore?
I'm doing wonderfully.
I feel like I'm enjoying. We still have. I feel like we're never ever going to get through all the emails.
Yeah, I have too many here.
I really appreciate it. I don't know. Maybe
one more.
Here we go. Here we go now. This is from Carrie Throne. She says, "Hey Chunt, you've talked about unicorns and dragons before, but do you have phoenixes, pegasi, hippogriffs? Oh, have you heard anything from Spintax? Are you sure he didn't just run away? Love you and Usidore." Oh, thank you
so much.
From Carrie Ann. Yeah, we have pegasi. We have phoenixes.
We have the University of Phoenix.
Yeah.
What's the University of Phoenix?
Arnold. The memory gremlin that you fucked went to the University of Phoenix.
That's right. Yeah. I'm sorry. There's so much information about this world that I'm taking in that I can't remember all of it.
We don't have hippogriffs. What's a hippogriff?
Boy, that's that's a magical creature that people write
like
about in my world. I don't really remember. I don't really remember exactly.
Are you okay? I feel like ever since you stopped drinking, you can't really remember anything.
Definitely slowing down.
You need that juice?
That's
that memory, sweet intelligence juice.
One more.
Okay.
One more email. How about you read this last one, Usidore, since you haven't written it?
Wait, before you read it, Mundle the Grendel, play our flourish.
Waffles. Dear Chunt. A, you're the coolest shapeshifter I know. Are there more of you?
Yes.
B, what are waffles like in food? On Earth, they are the best breakfast food available. Small squares, pockets in the waffle for basically liquid sugar.
I love this shit.
Flavored like butter and maple that comes from a tree. Does Foon have a house dedicated to waffles? Because Earth sure does. Keep the amazing content coming. Yours truly, Karen. What does she mean by content? Keep the amazing content coming.
I guess just the content of the podcast. Like, it's all completely real, but just the what the people are listening to.
I also get a lot of emails asking if we write this. Why would they ask that?
No, we don't write this. We just turn on the microphones and talk. It's all real, and even if it wasn't real, why would we write it? It would if we did write it, it would be a lot
much funnier. Yeah.
Guys, I feel like we've been on a journey together through these emails. I'm sorry to everyone. So many people. You're getting so many emails, and I love everyone, but we can't get to all of them. Please keep sending them.
Letters night.
Letters night.
Letters night!
Arnie, will you...
Should we do the section now where we read emails?
Chunt, one more.
Yeah, this is the time in the show where we would read emails.
No more emails.
Now we finish the regular show, read some emails.
No. Oh, this seemed like such a good idea.
I'm so tired.
One more.
Me again? Okay. So, it wasn't real.
Oh.
That should go without saying. Chunt the Shapeshifter was played by Adal Rifai. Usidore the Wizard was played by Matt Young. The new verse of Seven Dragons and a Baby, suggested by listener Hank, was sung, as always, by Glenn Miller and Spants, who are really just Nick Gage and Meridith Stepien. And it says here the original version of the song was sent in a while back by a listener named Matt Metter. And we have the audio, I think.
7 dragons and a baby living in their nest.
All right, that's enough for that. Hello from the Magic Tavern is produced by Arnie Niekamp, Evan Jacover, and Ryan DiGiorgi. Music by Andy Poland. Hello from the Magic Tavern logo by Allard Laban. Go to hellofromthemagictavern.com or Twitter or Facebook, and there's t-shirts too. This link is on you'll find it. This whole episode, all the letter reading, the whole thing, was sponsored by the game Utter Nonsense. Find it at a Target store near you. And it was also sponsored by Basecamp via the Chicago Podcast Co-op. Learn more about Basecamp at basecamp.com and the Chicago Podcast Co-op at chicagopodcastcoop.com. And if you know anything about space travel, let me know personally, because I would like to leave. Thank you.
Hey, thank you for listening to Hello from the Magic Tavern. A great way to support the podcast is to join our Patreon. You'll get ad-free versions of our entire back catalog, including all the Magic Tavern spin-offs like Offices and Bosses, Ion Spin, Tax, Shadow, Sit. There are a lot of them. There are 2 new exclusive bonus episodes every month, Discord, all kinds of stuff. To get more information, go to patreon.com/Magic Tavern. That's patreon.com/Magic Tavern.